Hello there. Today's video is on CSS and using the margin property. I have a page with 3 paragraphs. Those 3 paragraphs are actually inside of a div. Here's the HTML for it, and we're going to be doing some CSS. So we'll do a div with a border property, so you can see it, of black solid 5 pixels. We'll save that, refresh. We'll do the same thing with we'll do the same thing with the paragraph. So we'll save that. Actually, I need to put a comma in between that. There we go. So there's the 3 paragraphs. Now, today's video is on the margin, which is the space that is designated between HTML items. So each one of these paragraphs has a little space between the top or the bottom, I'm not really sure which, between each other. That is actually Firefox applying its own CSS. A lot of browsers have CSS properties that are already defined with them, and I don't know why, but sometimes that's just the way it is. So we're actually going to clear that out. So we're going to do a margin of 0 pixels, and we'll save that. There we go. You can see the paragraphs now go up against one another. The paragraphs go against the inside of the div. They're all touching, so there's 0 pixels in between each one of these elements because I specified that they should have 0 pixels between them. They're allowed to touch their neighbors, basically. So let's go ahead and start with this guy. We're going to do a P, and we're going to start doing the margin. So we can do a margin, and you're allowed to redefine stuff like this. It's always whatever the last CSS that's applied. And margin of 10 pixels. So that's what I mean. I've specified paragraph margin twice, but yeah, it works. So it is 10 pixels in between this left side of the paragraph and the left inside of the div. So nothing's allowed to be within 10 pixels of these paragraphs, and they're each moving 10 pixels away from each other. So that's how margin works. You can actually do just one side though by doing margin left, refresh, and that puts it a little space on the left side. Let's make that a little bigger so we can see it. Yeah, margin left, margin right. There's a margin top. There's a margin bottom. Or you can declare all of these with just the margin tag. So let's say we want 40 pixels at the top. We want to have 10 pixels on the right side, 20 pixels, let's do 100 pixels on the bottom, and 0 pixels on the left side. So we'll save that and refresh, and it winds up looking like this. Now the 100 pixels here works for the 40 pixels because 100 pixels is still, you know, less than 100 pixels. So what happens is the top has to be 40 pixels away. So this paragraph, well, this paragraph says that everything must be with 100 pixels away from the bottom of me, which this paragraph sees that and goes, well, that's fine. All I got to do is be 40 pixels away from you. And you know, they work together. So that's 100 pixels in between these two paragraphs, but this space right here is much smaller. That's why this is so large and this is smaller. It doesn't add together as 140. It just runs as 40 because at the bottom you can see that this space down here is pretty much the same size as this space up here. So there you go. You can do all 4 declarations at once. Remember, top, right side, underside, left side, or you can do one declaration like this, and it'll affect all sides the same. You can also do 20 pixels, say 2 of these guys, and let's do it a little more extreme. 10 pixels and 100 pixels. So the first number when you do 2 will affect the top and the bottom, and the second number will affect the left and the right side, as you can see right here. And you can also just do 1 and then do margin left, margin right, margin top, and margin, oh wait, let's see here, margin top, so you can see the bottom one is not, and margin bottom. So the bottom one's spaced out, but the top one is not, because it's got this extra thick black line, the 5 pixels for the div and the 5 pixels for the paragraph. Alright, so that's how you use the margin CSS property, and hopefully you've learned something from this and you'll get to use it in the future. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the experience of this tutorial, why not share it with your friends?